Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a giddy couple in love that loves reacting to some Genshin Impact.
Yeah, when he says giddy, you know it's Genshin time.
Yes, it is. And so Genshin Impact's collective miscellany. We're doing Yoimiya, Sayu, and Raiden, or Raiden. So those are the three we're checking out today. If you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, check out the description of this video because we got a playlist there for you, as well as a link to our Patreon. You can get early ad-free access to our reactions. And because it's Genshin Impact,
we have a drink.
Yeah, we do.
This is our Clee Sparkling Bomb. It's got Pop Rocks on top. It's
Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. Let's do it.
If you ever make it to Inazuma and ask the locals what to see while you're there, nearly everyone you talk to will emphatically recommend a fireworks display.
I'm down.
Like shooting stars in reverse, they fly up into the night, then burst into color, illuminating the sky and sea and the faces of those watching below.
It's got a little sparkler.
This short but dazzling spectacle is all the work of one woman, Inazuma's most skilled fireworks expert, Yoimiya.
Let me give this shooting fireworks straight into the skies with a boat business a shot.
In Yoimiya's capable hands, her spectacular fireworks are not just the grand finale of a festival. They also make highly potent weapons for protecting her friends and fighting her foes.
Nice.
And no one has a flair for fighting with fireworks quite like her.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yoimiya's handiwork is exquisite, and she dabbles in many other crafts besides firework making, always adding her unique touch to all her work. When Yoimiya crafts decorations, ornaments, and landscape furnishings, a portion of the materials used will be refunded. Her normal attack can combo up to 5 consecutive shots,
Nice
dealing
flip.
physical damage. Holding the attack button executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. Based on the charge time, the aimed shot generates different effects.
It's like the Doctor Strange
Charge level
thing.
1 fires off a flaming
yeah.
arrow that deals pyro damage. At charge level 2, depending on the exact charging time, the aimed shot generates up to 3 kindling arrows when she releases it. Kindling arrows home in on nearby enemies, dealing pyro damage.
So that's cool if they're not like attacking you. You can sit there and just charge it.
Elemental skill, and she waves a sparkler, causing a ring of saltpeter to surround her and sending her into the Niwabi Ensho state. During this time, arrows fired by Yoimiya's normal attack will be blazing arrows, increasing their damage and converting the attacks to pyro damage. However, during Niwabi Ensho, Yoimiya's normal attack, Firework Flare-Up, will not generate kindling arrows at charge level 2. After unlocking the talent Tricks of the Troublemaker, during Yoimiya's elemental skill duration, when her normal attack hits an enemy, she gains a stackable pyro damage bonus, which lasts for 3 seconds.
Here come the fireworks!
Yoimiya leaps into the air, together with her original creation, Ryukin Saxifrage, firing forth blazing rockets bursting with surprises that deal AoE pyro damage, and mark one of the hit enemies with Aura's Blaze. All attacks by any party member other than Yoimiya that hit an enemy marked by Aura's Blaze will trigger explosions, dealing AoE pyro damage.
This makes like everyone have fireworks.
If the enemy affected by Aura's Blaze is defeated before it expires,
yeah, such a cool move that she.
The effect will pass on to
Very
another
cinematic.
nearby enemy who will inherit the remaining duration. Aura's Blaze explosions are subject to a short cooldown. After unlocking the talent Summer Night's Dawn, for a short duration after casting Yoimiya's Elemental Burst, nearby party members other than Yoimiya herself gain an attack bonus.
You know, they just love showing it over and over again.
This bonus
Like, we put a lot of work into this shot.
Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks Yoimiya possesses when she unleashes her Elemental Burst. Armed with a Pyro Vision, Yoimiya has more than one way of playing with fire. This power takes her skills with the bow to another level,
Pyro Vision, like in Team Fortress 2.
turning even her arrows arrows into fireworks that send sparks flying all over the battlefield. In battle, Yoimiya begins by using her elemental skill to enter the Niwabi-Ensho state. Then she engages the enemy with enhanced normal attacks, using tricks of the Troublemaker to stack up a pyro damage bonus. When Niwabi-Ensho ends, if her energy is full, she unleashes her elemental burst to further pressure the enemy, then leaves the field, supporting the rest of her team with an attack bonus and pyro damage.
She's got a lot of shit going on.
Watching the enemy disappear in a dazzling display of light and smoke. As the explosions in the sky fade away, breathless spectators find their friends and leave. But Yoimiya is already busy preparing for the next display. It is a time-honored routine, unchanging night after night. And everyone in Inazuma looks forward to the splendid sight of her latest creations. After a brief moment, the dazzling flashes fade and the crowds are gone. After hundreds of years, this sight is nothing new to me. But who's to say that brief moments of splendor can't become everlasting memories? The god who pursues eternity has yet to realize that not all that endures is constant. Time can keep fireworks in people's minds long after they've faded. Just as, once in a while, it can send stars fixed high above, falling down to the ground. Ninjas are often portrayed moving under the veil of night, stealthily conducting their mission in the shadows. As such, people tend to let their imaginations regarding ninjas run wild, filching objects in a flash, vanishing without a trace, and laying poisonous traps. Such skills are necessary to be worthy of the ninja title. But in the eyes of Ninja Sayu, no matter how profound the art of ninjutsu may be, it is to be used but for a single purpose: slacking off. To this ninja who never passes on an opportunity to be lazy, the stirring of the leaves is not the opportune diversion to strike her enemy. Rather, it's a favorable time to slip away for a nice nap.
Sayu,
She's awesome.
At your disposal. Phew. But if you don't need me right now, I'm gonna grab some sleep.
Sayu is the Shumatsuban's resident ninja, and the last successor of the Yuhu art. She uses the power of Animo to swiftly move across the battlefield, and wields a claymore much heavier than herself to protect her companions.
No. Okay, she's strong
As a
then.
master slacker, Sayu's most adept
Master slacker.
ninjutsu technique is the art of holding her breath. When Sayu is in the party, your characters can approach crystal flies, lizards, and other certain animals without startling them. Sayu's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes,
That was like a lot.
dealing
Usually
physical
it's like 5 or
damage
6.
to enemies. Holding the attack steadily consumes stamina, while Sayu spins her claymore, dealing physical damage to nearby enemies. Once Sayu stops spinning her blade, she unleashes a more powerful strike that launches smaller enemies within her range. Tap Sayu's elemental skill to perform a special ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, in which Sayu curls up and enters the Fufu Windwheel state and rolls forward for a certain distance.
The Fufu Windwheel
smashing into
state?
opponents at high speed,
I don't know what it
dealing
is.
animo
That
damage.
sounds cool.
When the skill ends, Sayu performs a Fufu Whirlwind Kick, dealing AoE animo damage. Holding her elemental skill casts Yuhu art Fuin Dash, causing Sayu to roll continuously in the Fufu Windwheel state, increasing Sayu's resistance to interruption while within that state. During this time, Sayu can control the direction of her roll, and can cast the skill again to end her Windwheel state early.
She gets all dizzy afterwards.
And again, she unleashes a stronger version of the Fufu Whirlwind Kick, dealing a single instance of AoE animo damage. The longer Sayu remains in her Windwheel state, the longer the skill's cooldown will become. After holding her elemental skill
fun.
and entering the Windwheel state, if Sayu comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro,
She dies.
elemental absorption will occur, causing her to absorb that element.
Oh, sweet.
Deal additional elemental damage of that type.
Nice.
Elemental absorption may only occur once per use of this skill.
She's starting forest fires.
With With adept use of
Wildfires.
Fu-Fu Windwheel state, Sayu can swiftly roll across the battlefield to trigger swirl reactions in tandem with other party members. In the open world, Sayu can make use of her Fu-Fu Windwheel to quickly cover distances, aiding with exploration.
Ninjutsu!
Unleash her Elemental Burst to deal anemo damage to nearby opponents, as well as heal all nearby party members. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. Additionally, Sayu performs another ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, summoning Sayu's trusty helper, Muji Muji Daruma. At specific intervals, Muji Muji Daruma will take one of several actions based on the situation around it. If the HP of nearby characters is relatively high, it will attack a nearby opponent, dealing anemo damage.
Nice. Good little helper.
If there are nearby characters with HP below a certain percentage, it will heal the character with the lowest HP percentage left. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. If there are no opponents nearby, then it will focus on healing characters, even if the characters already have relatively high percentages of HP. After unlocking the talent No Work Today, when Muji Muji Daruma heals a character, it will also heal a certain percentage of HP
just
for other
bouncing on her
nearby
head.
characters
That
on
was
the
so fun.
battlefield. And when it attacks opponents, it will have an increased AoE. Perhaps in Sayu's heart, being neither eye-catching nor of extraordinary strength, she feels that her teammates are better suited for tackling the
Clubbing
task.
the nuts!
In the
Oh.
meanwhile, Sayu can ensure they stay fit for
Have mercy on
combat.
him.
Yeah.
When Sayu triggers a swirl reaction on the battlefield, she will regenerate HP for your characters in the party and all nearby allied characters. Additionally, the amount of healing will also benefit from Sayu's elemental mastery. This effect can occur only once per set time period.
Seems like a good support
Though
character.
it may seem that sleepy Sayu is always slacking off, she is still quite loyal to her commitments, or to put it another way, inescapable duties. She rolls nimbly across the battlefield, providing reliable support to her teammates. In combat, Sayu relies on her Fu-Fu Windwheel to move swiftly, quickly closing the distance on her enemies and crashing into them to trigger swirl reactions, while simultaneously providing healing for her team. When energy is full, Sayu can unleash her Elemental Burst to summon Muji Muji Daruma, whether it's to heal her teammates or to increase damage against her opponents. Muji Muji Daruma can
Spam
adapt
attack.
to the situation and protect Sayu's precious companions. Striving for the dreams of your youthhood is an admirable thing indeed. Only by improving yourself can you face the vicissitudes of life.
That was
And
creepy
when it
there,
comes
just
to improving
staring.
yourself,
Yeah.
whether it's sharpening your combat skills or simply trying to grow taller, for the young, anything worth striving for is a truly valuable endeavor. Now that I think about it, I too was probably once that way. Naive, persistent, and untiring. I'm only joking, of course. I've long forgotten the happenings of hundreds of years ago.
So you're really old.
In the eyes of Inazumans, the Raiden Shogun is not only an archon, but also a symbol. She is their superior leader who embodies eternal thunder and radiance. Her Excellency, the almighty Narukami Ogosho, 1,000-year-old protector of Inazuma. Little do they know that the current ruler of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun, residing high up in Tenshukaku, is no longer the same Archon who emerged victorious from the Archon War.
The campaign begins.
She's stabbing herself?
I think she's balancing a blade on her
The
finger.
Raiden Shogun is a martial artist in pursuit of perfection, with a sole goal of achieving eternity. No matter who stands in her way to eternal euthymia, they have no chance against the divine punishment that shines down with her bidding. It was the Raiden Shogun who originated the Inazuman
Cool.
art of sword and polearm, as well as a variety of blade forging techniques. When ascending swords and polearms, the amount of mora spent by the Raiden Shogun will be decreased. The Raiden Shogun's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina to perform an upward slash, dealing physical damage. Despite claiming to be detached from the mortal world, perhaps the Raiden Shogun still remembers her role as an Archon. She accrues the aspirations of all living creatures for her chakra desiderata. When party members other than her use their elemental bursts, the Raiden Shogun will build up resolve stacks for chakra desiderata based on the energy cost of the bursts used. Then, use up all the resolve accrued to empower her next elemental burst. The resolve accrued by chakra desiderata will dissipate once the Shogun is out of combat for a set time. The exalted Archon devoted to eternity. What caused her to stop in her tracks and listen to the wishes of her people? After unlocking the talent Wishes Unnumbered, the elemental orbs and particles collected by nearby party members will grant additional resolve for chakra desiderata once per set time period. Tapping her elemental skill, the Raiden Shogun unveils a shard of her Yoimiya, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents, and granting nearby party members the Eye of Stormy Judgment.
Good name.
Okay.
When characters carrying it attack and deal damage to opponents, the Eye of Stormy Judgment will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE electro damage. Characters who gained the Eye of Stormy Judgment will have their elemental burst damage increased based on the energy cost of the elemental bursts.
1,000 more damage. I think it was more than 1,000 more, 1,300 more.
Thanks to the Eye of Stormy Judgment, the Raiden Shogun can aid her teammates without being on the battlefield, boosting their offensive capabilities.
Now you shall perish.
See, I swear she pulled it out of herself.
Gathering truths unknown.
You're right.
See? Wishes uncounted. The Raiden Shogun unleashes the Musou no Hitotachi, dealing AoE electro damage.
Damn.
But I guess that's where you keep your sword. You'll never be without
For a
it.
certain duration afterward. The damage dealt by Musou no Hitotachi and
Doesn't look like she keeps it in her cleavage. It looks like she keeps it like
is based
Like
on the
in her-
number of
yeah.
Desiderata's resolve stacks consumed when this skill is
Like she
used.
uses her breastbone as
Using
a.
Musou Ishin in combat, the Shogun's
Sheath or
normal
whatever?
charged and
Yeah.
plunging attacks will be regarded as elemental burst damage and will be infused with electro damage which cannot be overridden.
Damn.
When such attacks hit opponents, she will regenerate energy for all nearby party members. While in
She's
this state,
badass.
the Raiden Shogun's resistance to interruption is increased, and she is immune to electro charge
walks on water.
damage. After unlocking the talent Enlightened One, if the Shogun's energy recharge surpasses
Damn.
a certain value, the surplus energy recharge grants her a percentage-based electro damage bonus, and more energy restoration while in Musou Ishin. The Raiden Shogun can accelerate the elemental burst rotation of her party while making the elemental bursts of her teammates more powerful. Such a seasoned leader like her remains fearless in the face of any encounter. In combat, the Raiden Shogun can use the Eye of Stormy Judgment to help teammates in difficult fights. When her teammates unleash elemental bursts or collect elemental orbs or particles, the Shogun gains more resolve for chakra desiderata. Wait for an opportune moment to unleash Musou no Hitotachi to deal lethal damage to your enemies. And enter Musou Ishin to clean up the battlefield while regenerating energy for the whole party. To enable a round of elemental bursts that will strike foes down as fast as lightning. Neighboring the Dark Sea, Inazuma has witnessed many a war. For the pursuit of eternity and the prosperity of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun stuck stubbornly to her path. But what let some bloom made others wither. There is no gain without the pain of loss. When facing their fears, Archons and mortals are all the same. Yet Archons are born arrogant. By attempting to grasp the heavenly principles, she brought a disaster upon mortals. Perhaps some may say that I'm overstating what happened, but I'm just speaking from experience after all.
Raiden was really impressive to me. I mean, I think that the Archons are like basically like the gods of this world. So I would assume that she's the most powerful out of everyone that we saw.
I mean, for me, I would put Raiden at the top for strength and power. I think Yoimiya is the most fun.
Yeah, she is.
And Sayu is adorable. So like, those would be my rankings.
I like oh man, I might like Sayu the best. Just because, you know, she wants to sleep all the time and she's just like you said, adorable. And then Raiden and then Yoimiya as far as like who I like the best. And then strength wise, I do Raiden, Yoimiya, Yoimiya, whatever her name is, and then Sayu after that.
Clearly, our pronunciation has never been our strong suit.
No.
Yeah. I will say that just something that has come up in my head multiple times when watching Genshin, but particularly in this one for some reason, is it gives me this desire to go to Asia. Because the beautiful music, the gorgeous architecture, like it is a part of the world that I have never been to, and this gives me that yearning to go and see it for myself.
And I just love that, I don't know, it's like the creativity of saying, okay, we're going to create a character and like, is it a ninja? But like, how are we going to take a different spin on this ninja? It's going to be a lazy ninja. It's going to be a sleepy ninja. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a sleepy little girl ninja. That's what we're going to, and she's going to be awesome. And
she is awesome. Yeah. She uses all her skills to try and sneak off and just catch some more Z's. And I think that's fantastic. I can relate to that. I would love to do that.
She works to live. She doesn't live to work. And I appreciate that.
So do I. Well said. Sorry, we have Bucky in our lap and he has a bone and he is in heaven right now.
Yeah, so if you hear him, you might hear him on the mic chewing. No, he's going to town on that bone. He's loving that bone. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our reactions for Genshin Impact and other reactions on Definitely Not Definitive games, check out the description of this video because we got a link to our Patreon there, as well as a link for our playlist for all of our Genshin Impact reactions here on YouTube.
Yep.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Genshin Impact Collective Miscellany, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.